Hello friends, tonight, we'll travel to the quiet coast of Maine, where the Atlantic Ocean never truly sleeps. Dim the lights, get comfortable, and let this slow mystery carry you into peaceful dreams. The town of Blackwater Point had only 412 residents. Everyone knew everyone. The harbor was small. The streets were lined with weathered wooden homes painted white and pale blue. And above everything, stood the old lighthouse. For almost 80 years, nobody had lived there. Its lantern had stopped shining long before Emily Carter was born. Locals avoided the rocky path leading to it. Not because they believed in ghosts, but because strange things happened there after midnight. No one could explain why. Some claimed they heard whispers. Others said the sea became perfectly silent. Emily never believed those stories. At 34, she had spent her career restoring forgotten buildings across New England. Old churches, historic farms, Victorian houses. To her, every abandoned place had a story, not a curse. When the town council hired her to inspect Blackwater Lighthouse, she accepted immediately. The drive north took nearly 6 hours. Fog rolled across the highway. Pine forests stretched endlessly beside the road. By sunset, Emily finally reached the tiny coastal town. It looked exactly like an old postcard. Fishing boats rocked gently against wooden docks. Seagulls circled lazily overhead. A salty breeze carried the scent of the Atlantic Ocean. Everything felt peaceful. Almost too peaceful. At the local diner, an elderly waitress poured her coffee. "You must be the lighthouse inspector." Emily smiled. "I guess word travels fast." The waitress nodded. "It always does here." After a pause, she quietly added, "Just promise me one thing." Emily looked up. "Don't stay there after midnight." Emily laughed politely. "I don't believe in ghost stories." The waitress didn't smile. "I'm not talking about ghosts." Before Emily could ask another question, the woman walked away. Outside, the evening sky turned orange. Far across the cliffs, Emily could already see the lighthouse. Tall, silent, watching the ocean. The next morning, Emily packed her notebook, camera, flashlight, and drove toward the cliffs. The road narrowed until it became little more than gravel. Wildflowers swayed beside the path. The ocean crashed far below. When she finally reached the gate, she noticed something strange. The chain locking it was covered in fresh rust. Yet the dirt nearby held brand new footprints. Someone had been there recently. She pushed the gate open. It groaned softly. Inside, the lighthouse stood far taller than she'd imagined. Paint peeled from its walls. Broken windows reflected the gray sea. The heavy wooden door opened with surprising ease. Inside, everything smelled of salt, old wood, and time itself. Dust covered nearly every surface, except one narrow staircase. It was perfectly clean, as if someone climbed it every single day. Emily slowly placed one foot on the first step. The staircase spiraled upward endlessly. Each wooden stair creaked beneath her boots. Halfway up, she stopped. Very faintly, she heard something. Not footsteps. Not wind. A whisper. So soft. She couldn't understand a single word. She held her breath. The sound disappeared. Only the waves remained. Emily continued climbing. At the top, she entered the lantern room. The giant glass windows overlooked the endless Atlantic. The view was breathtaking. On a dusty table, she found an old leather journal. Its pages were yellow with age. The first entry read, "If you hear the whispers, never answer them." Emily smiled nervously. Someone certainly enjoyed telling stories. She slipped the journal into her bag. Outside, dark clouds gathered over the ocean. Far below, the waves crashed harder against the rocks. A storm was coming. She decided it was time to leave. But as she stepped outside, her phone vibrated. No signal. No service. Only one strange notification appeared. 12 a.m. Even though her watch clearly showed 3:17 p.m. Emily frowned. She restarted the phone. The screen remained frozen. 12 a.m. Then, from somewhere deep inside the lighthouse, came the whisper again. This time, she clearly heard 3 words. "Don't leave, yet." Emily slowly turned toward the dark doorway. And for the first time, she wondered whether the old stories had been warning people for a reason. End of Part 1. Right Arrow Agala Baga, Part 2, Kahani Ka. Take a slow, comfortable breath. The storm is rolling in. The lighthouse stands quiet above the sea, and the mystery is about to unfold. Emily remained still. The words echoed softly through the empty tower. "Don't leave, yet." She looked around. Nothing. Only the wind humming through cracked glass. The old journal rested in her hands. She opened the next page. The handwriting had grown shaky. The whispers never force anyone to stay. They only ask. The choice is always yours. Emily slowly sat beside the dusty window. Outside, gray waves rose and fell against the cliffs. Rain began tapping gently against the glass. The sound was almost comforting. She kept reading. The journal belonged to Thomas Hale, the lighthouse keeper who had lived there nearly 80 years earlier. His entries were calm, simple. He described lonely winters, ships crossing the Atlantic, and long nights watching storms from the lantern room. But every few pages, he mentioned the whispers. Not as monsters. Not as ghosts. As memories. The lighthouse remembers everyone who ever protected this coast. Emily smiled quietly. It sounded poetic. Nothing more. Then, the clock hanging on the wall began ticking. She hadn't noticed it before. Tick, tick, tick. It had no batteries. No winding key. Yet it worked perfectly. The hands moved slowly. Until they reached midnight. The lantern room became completely silent. Even the crashing ocean seemed to pause. Emily stood carefully. A warm golden glow appeared inside the old lantern. No electricity. No flame. Just soft light. It spread gently across the room. The air no longer felt cold. Instead, it felt peaceful, as though someone had opened the windows to a warm summer evening. Then the whispers returned. But this time, Emily understood them. Dozens of quiet voices. Gentle. Kind. None sounded frightened. Each voice spoke only one sentence. Welcome home. Thank you. The sea is calm tonight. We kept the light burning. Emily closed her eyes. The words felt strangely familiar. Like hearing old family stories long forgotten. Around her, faint figures slowly appeared within the golden light. Transparent. Peaceful. Old lighthouse keepers. Sailors. Fishermen. Women carrying lanterns through storms. Children waving from the shore. No fear. Only calm. Each figure smiled before fading gently into the warm light. Thomas Hale appeared last. His face matched the faded photograph tucked inside the journal. He tipped his weathered cap. The light was never for ships alone. Emily whispered. What was it for? Thomas looked toward the ocean. For people who needed hope. The lantern glowed brighter. Outside, the storm slowly weakened. Rain softened into a quiet mist. The sea became smooth once again. Thomas smiled. Every lighthouse tells two stories. One guides travelers. The other reminds those on land that someone is always watching over them. Then, he disappeared. The room became ordinary once more. The golden light faded. The clock stopped. Silence returned. Emily looked at her watch. 12:01 a.m. Only 1 minute had passed. Yet it felt as though hours had drifted by. The next morning, sunlight poured through the lighthouse windows. The Atlantic shimmered like silver. Emily packed her notebook, the journal, her camera. Before leaving, she looked back one last time. The lighthouse stood exactly as before. Old, quiet, patient. At the diner, the elderly waitress smiled. You stayed until midnight. Emily nodded. I did. The waitress poured another cup of coffee. And Emily thought for a long moment. I don't think the lighthouse is haunted. The waitress smiled knowingly. No. It remembers. Years later, the lighthouse was fully restored. Visitors came from across America to climb its winding staircase and watch the sunrise over the Atlantic. Many called it the most peaceful place on the coast. Some claimed they slept better after visiting. Others said the silence there felt different. Warmer. Kinder. Emily never told anyone exactly what happened that night. She simply placed Thomas Hale's journal inside a small glass display near the entrance. The final page remained open. It contained only one sentence. As long as one small light remains, no night is ever truly dark. And on calm evenings, when the fog rolled gently across the sea, the old lantern sometimes glowed for just a moment. Not brightly, not loudly, just enough to remind every traveler that even in the darkest night, there is always a light waiting to guide them home. The end. Good night. Sleep peacefully, and may your dreams be as calm as the quiet ocean beneath an old lighthouse. Crescent moon.